Good afternoon, friends. Have you ever read through the Old Testament and scratched your head? You may be wondering, what on earth does it all mean? Well, we need to read the Old Testament in the light of the New Testament. And in this series, I am attempting to help you link these two amazing covenants together. Today, we're going to be looking at Genesis chapter 2 and 3 and Proverbs chapter 23. In Genesis 2, verses 23 to 25, it says, "At last the man exclaimed, 'This one is bone from my bone and flesh from my flesh. She will be called woman because she was taken from man.' This explains why a man leaves his father and mother and is joined to his wife, and the two are united into one. Now the man and his wife were both naked, but they felt no shame." Marriage is a divine institution. It's a gift from God. It's a beautiful union when God joins two people together and the two become one. It's no longer me, myself, and I. It's now we and us. Whatever you do affects the other. Godly marriages are called to represent the marriage between Christ and his bride to the world. And his bride is the church. All believers are a part of the church, his bride. In the new covenant, we have been joined to Christ. Each spouse must work to please their spouse. God is the head of the husband, and the husband is the head of the wife. At this point, parents, friends, and family, they may give godly advice to the couple, but they're not at the authority level. Because of the order in the home system that God created, husbands and wives do well to go to God directly when having problems in the marriage. Since he is the head, God knows how to make the proper adjustments. The Holy Spirit teaches all things, and he has the solution on all topics. Likewise, the bride of Christ must work to please her husband. Remember, we are called to co-reign with him. He loves us deeply with an everlasting love, and we will be with him forever. The link for this concept is found in 2 Corinthians 11, verse 2. "For I am jealous for you with the jealousy of God himself. I promised you as a pure bride to one husband, Jesus Christ." In Genesis chapter 3, we find the beginning of the fall of mankind, when the devil, dressed as a serpent, has a deceit-filled conversation with Eve. In chapter 3, verses 4 and 6, the serpent lies and says, "You won't die." The serpent replied to the woman, "God knows that your eyes will be open as soon as you eat it, and you will be like God, knowing both good and evil." The woman was convinced. She saw that the tree was beautiful and its fruit looked delicious, and she wanted the wisdom it would give her. So she took some of the fruit and ate it. Then she gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it too. The fall of man is where the story of the two covenants begin. In the passages of the Old Testament, we will see how, in fact, the human race had died or did die with that bite of forbidden fruit. We will see how God planned to cover the effects of the fall. And we will see God predict the unfolding of his ultimate plan to reverse the effects of the fall. And then we will see the fulfillment of that plan. It is a story of unprecedented and unfailing grace and mercy. It is a story of promises and rewards. It's a story of rebellion and punishment. It's a story of supreme sacrifice and extravagant selflessness. There's a lot to say about these verses, and we're going to say them throughout this series. For now, what I want to point out is the lie of the enemy. The ultimate deception was, "You will be like God." Why was that a deception? Because it led them to think that they weren't already like God. And they were. God had made them in his own image. He had given them his spirit. He had given them his own authority. They couldn't possibly have gotten anything better than the good that they already had. They already knew everything good because they knew God without a shadow. And they were like God. Then what did they get? Knowledge of evil, separation from God, spiritual death, and eventually physical death. We see the link in the New Testament in Romans 5:12. When Adam sinned, sin entered the world. Adam's sin brought death, so death spread to everyone, for everyone sinned. Now God has to charge his people to seek the wisdom they lost. In Proverbs 23, verse 19, in the Passion Translation, it says, "As you listen to me, my beloved child, you will grow in wisdom and your heart will be drawn into understanding, which will empower you to make the right decisions." And those right decisions will definitely include not listening to the devil. This amazing verse actually has to do with submission, just like God's first wise command did. We can see here how when we love God telling us what to do, it empowers us, which is to say it causes us to rule. Don't you want to rule over your decisions? So many people make the wrong decisions and it ruins their life. But real power comes in making not just good decisions, but righteous decisions. And those come from getting the wisdom of our Father. Jesus said in Matthew 12:50, "Anyone who does the will of my Father in heaven is my brother and sister and mother." And James 1:5 says, "If you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking." Well, that's all for today. For further study, I have put some scriptures for you in the description of this video. Until next time, I'll be praying for you to receive revelation about your covenant with God. Have a blessed week.